Paradox CCG here. I'm Ryan and I'm bringing you a Baby Raccoon combo video. This video will show you many combos to start off first turn plays with Baby Raccoons to stop the meta and make your opponent's life very miserable for the rest of the game. So let's get started. For the first combo, I will be showing you how to bring out Leo, 2 Sandayus, an Aturi Beast, and a 3100 token first turn. We will be using this hand: 1 Obedient Schooled, 1 Neospatian Grand Mole, Ayers Rock Sunrise, Kalatosa, and Soul Charge. Many of you immediately will be asking, why do you have Kalatosa in your hand for the ideal play? Just bear with me, because Kalatosa, it doesn't matter now that Flarefawn is a card. So, first we'll activate Obedient Schooled to summon Flarefawn, Wind Up Kitten, and Tree Otter. So, with these cards, you summon Neospatian Grand Mole. This is your normal summon. Next, you sink into the first Aturi Beast. After this, activate Ayers Rock Sunrise and bring back Flarefawn. Next, you overlay Wind Up Kitten and Tree Otter for Sandayu. With Sandayu, you detach Wind Up Kitten and summon a token. Flarefawn's effect activates. You can activate Flarefawn's effect now. Ditch Kalatosa and summon Kalatosa. Next, you use all these cards to bring out the Leo. Next, Soul Charge. Pay 3,000, summon Flarefawn, Kalatosa, and Aturi Beast. So, Soul Charge pretty much sets off this entire first turn play. This is probably the most broken first turn I could possibly imagine with this deck. And then you use Kalatosa and Flarefawn to make Sandayu. You detach Kalatosa to summon the second token. So now you have first turn 2 Sandayus, Leo, Aturi Beast, and a 3100 token. If this were, like, second turn, you could start off the game with, say, all this and a face-down mistake or something. Or you can have, let's see, a United We Stand. So before making the token, you could equip United We Stand to Leo, then make the token, and Leo and the token will have 7100 attack. This is crazy. However, with Soul Charge in the grave, or after you activate Soul Charge, you can't attack until the next turn. So, I mean, I guess you have to just hope your opponent has no other outs. I don't think they can have any outs because this field is pretty devastating. So yeah, let me set up the next combo and I'll bring that one to you. Everyone, welcome back. Here is our next combo setup. This combo requires these 2 cards and one of these. Any one of these will work. Typically, if you have these 2 and Fabled Cerberus plus another one, it's even better. But unlike the last combo I showed you, this combo is more realistic. One, because Grand Mole and Soul Charge are both limited, and it's extremely difficult to open those 2 cards at the same time first turn. So this is a more realistic combo, and I will show you this combo. Firstly, I will be showing you this combo. For this combo, you will need Obedient Schooled, Ayers Rock Sunrise, any level 2 beast, Cerberus, and Mistake. First, you activate Obedient Schooled, of course. You summon Wind Up Kitten, Flarefawn, and Tree Otter. The reason I don't use any of my Raccoons for Obedient Schooled is because they are my main engine, and I do not want to use my main engine up. I want to draw them and then use them. So, after these 3, I will overlay these 2 for Sandayu. Typically I summon Sandayu in defense first turn because I don't want my opponent attacking it for free damage. Next, I will detach Wind Up Kitten to make a token. Next, I will normal summon Kalatosa. With Kalatosa, Flarefawn, and a token, I will sync for Aturi Beast. A lot of you in my last videos in the comments ask why I don't use many level 1 tuners to make Naturi Beast. This is because the token is level 1, and this combo is super easy, so you don't have to use Obedient Scold to open up with Key Mouse. Or you don't have to open with Key Mouse with Obedient Scold because this combo works much better. So this is with just Obedient Scold and a level 2 Beast in hand. This is why Obedient Scold is the best combo piece in the game. Well, for this deck at least. So, furthermore, you can activate Ayers Rock Sunrise and bring back Flarefawn. This is where the combo becomes even more degenerate. With Flarefawn, you can discard any card in your hand and then summon a level 2 beast from your graveyard. Typically, you'll have any other card, but for the broken combo to work, you want to send Cerberus. And then, like, summon Calantosa, pop a card if your opponent has anything. And then Cerberus' effect, you can activate. Actually, no, you can't activate it, it's mandatory, it just activates on its own, and you summon it. Next, depending on what you have, you pretty much just overlay this and make another Sandaiyu. You can, if you run that one level 3 Mistbird Colossalus, you can detach for another token, and actually no, you can't because of Obedient Scold. Forgive that. So pretty much this is pretty much it, and then you set Mistake and pass for turn. Your opponent really cannot. It's really difficult for Necros to work around this. So Standby Phase, activate Mistake. They can't search. They can't activate spells. They're pretty much done. So yes, it's a really good combo, and even with just Obedient Scold without Ayers Rock Sunrise in your hand, that's what you could possibly have first turn. But with Flarefawn and Ayers Rock Sunrise, this combo pretty much does very well. Cerberus is just icing on the cake. You can summon that if you want. You don't need to have Cerberus in your hand for this combo to work because it's pretty much on the field for a 1k beater. And yeah, let me set up the next combo and I will catch you guys in a sec. Welcome back. Now this is going to be a combo that is basically a slower version of the last combo you guys saw. This is also the reason I refer to Panpoko as a midi Obedient Scold. So, let's get started. So the first thing you do, of course, normal summon Panpoko, activate its effect activates, summon Tantan from the deck. Next, this is pretty much just for control. You can have these Threatening Roar, Fiendish Chain, and Mistake. Just set all those, and just leave this in your hand and pass for turn. Your opponent will pretty much summon something to attack, of course, because you left an 800 attack monster on the field. That's dumb of you, right? Not really. So, even if they make a huge field, you could let's just say chain Mistake to Standby Phase, and they attack Panpoko. So, on the attack, activate Threatening Roar. Panpoko dies because Threatening Roar doesn't affect the declared attack, but now they can't attack Tantan. You can, even if they have two monsters, just chain Fiendish Chain and just leave this down. But either way, make sure Tantan stays alive. So, yeah. So next turn, you draw one, and pretty much the best card you could possibly draw is a level 2 beast. And I like Wind Up Kitten just because you can bounce something, and it's probably one of the best top decks in the game. So next, you flip Tantan, and I have to search my deck for something. I forgot to put this one on top. Flarefawn. So, search for Flarefawn, summon it. Now you have two monsters on the field. So, this deck really gets ridiculed a lot because you leave Panpoko out with 800 attack and you can take a lot of damage if your opponent has a high attack monster. But a lot of people go by the saying that life points don't really matter once you get your combo out, and I really subscribe to that because Panpoko is now in the graveyard. Now you can use Flarefawn's effect. So, so you can use Flarephon, send a card in your hand. Let's say, like, instead of Fiendish, like, this is just for the control. Like, you could have had something else in your hand, maybe like any other card. Let me look for one in my deck really fast. Yeah, let's say you have just another level 2 beast in your hand. So you have something to discard for Flarephon, and then something to normal summon. So, discard Kalantosa, and summon Kalantosa. Blow up a card, like, if they have 2 monsters, blow up one of their monsters. If they have a lot of back row, pop a back row, because you really don't want a lot of back row disrupting this. So next, depending on what you have in your back row, or in your opponent's back row, you can overlay for Sandai, make a token, and then, here I'll just show you. Overlay, detach, make a token, and then normal summon, and sink into Neturi Beast. From there you can Ares Rock Sunrise, summon, wind up getting bounce something again, and then attack for 22, attack for 800, and maybe main phase 2 you can like make Downward or something. Or you can just wait until next turn, because if your opponent has nothing to stop this, they won't be able to search, so you can just next turn make a token and overlay for Downward in next main phase 2. Or you can go a different route. You can have all this back on the field, this back in your hand, this over here. So you have all these cards. If your opponent, say, is playing Yosenjus or Volcanics, Satellars, anything with a lot of traps, Clifforts, you can sink into Barkion. Because you didn't use Panpoko's effect this turn, you can still normal special summon stuff that isn't a beast. So, Barkion. Then you can Ares Rock into something like, let's say, Flarephon. If your opponent is like the dumb type of Satellar player that like summons Deneb, sets 4 and passes, or just like sets a card, sets 4, passes, and they have nothing in their hand, you can summon this, Ares Rock Sunrise. No, wait, no, that's wrong. So, yeah, let's say maybe if you have something else in your hand, you can discard, summon Wind Up Kitten. I was gonna say make Unicorn, but no, that's not Cerebral. So instead, you can just make like Herald of Arclight, and if they're Necroz, they can't discard. They can't mill if they're Infernoids, and it's just Solemn Judgment. And so you would attack with Barkion. If they have a trap, you can like banish 2 cards, negate the trap. This is pretty much standard play for Raccoons. Typically, the other route where you make Sandayu and Neturi Beast, it's better. It's a better route, but this is still a pretty good startup play. Just this and this, Solemn Judgment and Trap Stun. So yeah. So Panpoko is pretty much a mini Obedient Scold, and it's a good card no matter what people say. Even if you leave it out with 800 attack and nothing to defend you, you're putting it in the graveyard for Valerophon. It's a pretty good card. And if your opponent, if you don't have the outs to stop your opponent from attacking and they attack Tantan, just summon that, stop the other monster from attacking if they have 3 monsters, destroy the back row. You can do a lot with this deck, and even if, like, say you have United We Stand, you can detach a token, make a really huge monster, and just do a lot of damage to your opponent. So yeah, let me set up my next combo. I'm going to show you like a burn combo, and I'll be back in a sec. Hello everyone, welcome back. So this is pretty much a setup for when you brick really hard and it's game 3, you're about 5 minutes till going into time, and you side in ceasefire to do that little poke damage for if you go into time, and you just brick. There's nothing you can really do with this hand, but like just activate, mistake, chain, threatening, reward, standby phase. They can't attack. They can't search, and if you have fiendish, like they can't use their monster effects. So pretty much this hand is set 1, set 4, pass, and you pretty much just brick, and your opponent like attacks Kalantosa, and they're done. You don't really want to activate much. You can activate Mistake. Just let Kalantosa die, and then just next turn, you just like draw into the Holy Land, and yeah, like summon Ponpoko, and you can, let's set Wind Up Kitten. So, with Wind Up Kitten set, the next thing you can do is activate Ceasefire. So, this flips Wind Up Kitten, and you just burn your opponent for damage, and then you can use Wind Up Kitten's effect now this turn, because it is now face up because of Ceasefire. So use Wind Up Kitten, bounce, overlay for sand value, make a big token or whatever. Or you can summon something like Valeraphon, face down. And let's say if this ever does happen, you want to like leave a card in your hand so you can discard Valeraphon. So now you chain Ceasefire, flip Valeraphon. Now you can use Valeraphon's effect to discard 1, summon Kalantosa. Now you can set off your plays. You can overlay these for Centauria, and you have a good few outs to your opponent now. So yeah, it's pretty good, I guess. Ceasefire is just a pretty good card with Ponpoko because you can set off a lot of plays with its effect. And yeah, it's not the best, but like it's good for game 3 when you're siding in Ceasefire, and I'm just showing you guys a combo that you can do with Ceasefire and Ponpoko if it ever does come up. It's not really, I guess, consistent, but it's still pretty interesting, I thought of. So yeah, if I think of another video, I will, or if I think of another combo, I'll get that really quickly. One sec. Everyone, welcome back. So this combo is going to be going second against Clifford Towers. So you're going against Cliffords, they have towers out, they have Scout, they have 3 Pendulums in their extra deck, and nothing else. So, and you have this hand. So, a great combo with this hand is, first of all, obviously, Venus Gold, Cerberus, Wind Up Kitten, Valeraphon. You really have like nothing you can do currently because you activated Obedience School, you can't summon Mythic Water Dragon, so you summon Kalantosa, overlay, Justice Stall, and then just set Threatening Roar or something, and then pass. Just chain Threatening Roar, standby phase, and your opponent will pass because they can't really do anything because you have the lock. And you draw. So next, you special summon, you detach Valeraphon for a token, then you can Arzark Sunrise, bring back Valeraphon, and then you sink into Star Eater. Let's say last turn your opponent Pendulum summoned a bunch of stuff, so now you can use Red Geki so that they only have Apocryphal Towers left. And then you equip United We Stand to a Star Eater. Star Eater is 3200, so it gains 24. I can't do math well, that's 5600 I think. You can detach the next one, and summon the token back. So now it gains another 800, so it is at 6,400. So token, Star Eater, they're both 6,400. Of course, they'll be minus 500 because of Apocalypse Towers, but that doesn't really matter because, yeah, Star Eater's effect is it goes back to its normal attack at 3,200 plus the 3,200 here during the battle phase. So you can ram into towers and then attack for game. It's a pretty good combo, I guess. This is really if you have nothing really else to do. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think about this video. If you have any ideas for deck profiles that I could do, let me know in the comments. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.